Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tej and today I will show you how to water your jade plant. Keep on watching. A lot of you guys have been asking me to show you how I water my jade plants. Today I have some jade plants that are due for watering. I will show you the things I look for before I water my jade plants. There are a few things I look for before I water my jade plants. Only water your jade plants when they're completely dry. I'm going to show you two different examples here. This jade plant, if you look at the leaves, they look like pretty soft. They're not plump anymore. When you press on it, it just feels a little bit soft. They should be very plump. So this is a sign that this jade is ready for water. And the other thing that you can look is around the soil here. It will create an edge between the pot and the soil. As you can see, there is some gap. That means soil is completely dry. On this jade plant over here, if you see, leaves look pretty firm. It looks like it's good. But if you look at the soil, you'll see there is a gap between the edge of the pot and soil. The other way to check if it needs water, what you can do is hold it from the base here. If you're really unsure and you can't really tell if it's ready for water, what you can do is pull it out like that. So this one is completely dry. This is the good time you can water it. You can do that with any of your jade plants, even the bigger ones. It does not harm the plant. First, you can see the pot is really light, and you can also look at the holes. If you see soil is dry, that means it's completely dry and you can go ahead and water it. And you can also pull it out. They should come out like this. Right now, they are ready to water. They can go without water for weeks. Even right now, this one, leaves are really soft and it really needs some water, but I can still wait another week and it'll still be fine. Most of my plants are in west facing window, and I only water them when I see this gap in the soil and when I find the leaves are getting soft, not too wrinkly. Don't wait too long. You don't want them to be really wrinkly because then they'll dry out and they'll fall off. Before I water, what I do, I use a wooden skewer and I just try to loosen the soil a little bit so it can soak water easily. Because it's really dry, it can be compacted when you don't water it for weeks. Don't poke too much around the root ball. You can just slightly do it on the sides. Once you're done, and then you can water it in two different ways. You can water from the top. Make sure you have a good draining mix. As you can see, because soil's so dry and the water didn't even stay there, it just came out. If you don't have a bowl underneath, what you can do is you can water it few times like that. Make sure all the soil is wet. Or what you can do, just take a bowl and put the pot inside and fill it up with water. You can leave it here for at least 20 minutes to half an hour, and depends. You can come back with the skewer and then you can just poke it inside. As you can see, it's still dry. So you have to let it sit in the water for some time for the soil to soak up all the water. After that, you can take it out and dump the excess water and put it back in its cover pot or whatever you have underneath, and you can just move it back in full sun. It's better to underwater the jade plant than to overwater. Even if you think you didn't water it enough, it'll be fine, because it'll show you signs if it really needs water, like these soft, wrinkly leaves, and you will see this soil getting really dry and leaving the edge of the pot. That's a very good way to check. That way you let it 100% dry between the waterings, which is really good for this plant. It does not like to be sitting in a moist soil. It likes to dry out in between the waterings. It is really important that you don't overwater your jade plants because jade plants are prone to root rot. You don't have to follow a set schedule with your jade plant. If you look for the things I just showed you, that way you don't have to worry about figuring out how many weeks you should wait in the winter and how many days you should wait in the summer. If you look for these things, that way you will be sure that soil is completely dry and then you can go ahead and water it. A lot of you guys are also wondering about what type of soil you should use. You can use any regular organic potting mix. All my jade plants are in regular potting mix. What you can do is add some perlite to it to make the soil a little bit light, so that way it can be a little bit airy. I have also done a little experiment with the soil. I add some vermiculite as well because I have lots of plants and sometimes I don't get enough time to check on all my plants. So all my jade plants that were sitting in the west-south facing window, I just wanted them to go without water for a long time. So what I did, I mix some perlite and some vermiculite because vermiculite holds a lot of moisture. I was a little worried if it will rot the roots, but nothing happened because I let it completely dry out. As I showed you, most of my plants, you can pull them out of the pot because they are completely dry. I think it doesn't really matter what kind of soil you use, as long as it's in full sun. After you water it, you saturate the whole soil with water, but it should start drying out within a day or two. You don't want a very heavy soil that the water sits there for a long time. I have some plants that are not in west facing windows. They are a little bit away, and also some of them are in east facing windows. If you are the type of person who overwater plants, I would not suggest that you add vermiculite in your soil. Just stick with regular potting mix and add perlite in it. Jade plants are really easy to care for and they grow really well. If you can just figure out few things like how to water, when to water, and how much sunlight you should have them in full sunlight. I have a few videos about jade plants, how to grow a thick trunk, and also how to propagate, how to prune the jade plant. Please feel free to check them out. I will link them in the comment box below and also on the screen. If you still have any questions on how and when to water your jade plants, please feel free to leave them in the comment box below. I'll get back to you. I will be making some of the follow-up videos about my pruning video and the propagation video. I will show you how the plant is doing after I pruned it, and I will show you what I do with the propagations after they start growing and how I repot them. I would love to know if you guys want me to cover any other topics. Please post them in the comment box below. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I would love to connect and hear from you guys. Take care. I'll see you next time.